You don't have a motivation problem. You have a system problem. Because here's the truth. Nobody tells you the most consistent people you admire. They're not more disciplined than you. They're not waking up at 4 a.m. feeling pumped and ready. Half the time, they're exhausted, overwhelmed, and doing it anyway. And today, I'm going to show you exactly how they do it. Stay with me because strategy 3 alone might completely change how you look at your daily routine. Welcome back to Jet with a channel where we talk about the small shifts that make a massive difference in your life. If you're new here, hey, I'm glad you found this. Hit that subscribe button right now, because every week we put out content designed to quietly push you toward the life you actually want. No fluff, no hype. Just real, practical stuff you can use today. Now let's talk about consistency. Most people think consistency is a personality trait. Like you either have it or you don't. Some people are just built different. Right, wrong. Consistency is not a trait, it's a system. And today we're breaking down the 5 strategies that will engineer it into your life even on your worst days. Make the behavior survive bad days. Let me ask you something. When you started your last habit, going to the gym, journaling, eating better, what kind of day did you design it for? If you're honest, you probably designed it for a good day. A motivated morning, a clear schedule, enough sleep, enough energy, and that's exactly why it fell apart. Because life doesn't care about your good days. Life is going to throw you a terrible Tuesday where everything goes wrong. You're running on 3 hours of sleep, and the last thing you want to do is anything you planned. Here's the fix. You need 2 plans, not 1. Your stretch plan. What you do on the days when everything is going right and you've got time and energy to spare, and your baseline plan, the absolute minimum you will do no matter what. Couldn't make it to the gym, your baseline is a 10-minute walk. Couldn't write a full journal entry, your baseline is 3 sentences. The baseline keeps the streak alive. The streak builds the identity. The identity becomes the consistency. Don't break the chain, just make it shorter on hard days. Reinforce or replace 2 o'clock to 3:10. Here's something that trips people up constantly. They decide they want to quit a bad habit, scrolling before bed, stress eating, staying up too late, and they just try to stop. And it works for maybe 3 days. Then it comes back stronger than ever. Why? Because that habit wasn't random. It was doing something for you, giving you relief, escaped a dopamine hit after a long day, a way to decompress. When you rip it out without replacing the function, your brain just finds its way back. It needs that release. So here's the move. Don't just eliminate, replace. If you drink to handle stress, replace it with a workout, not because it's healthier, but because it handles the same stress, the same function, better behavior. And then this part is underrated. Reward yourself immediately for the swap. Not a week later when you see results. Right now. Put $1 in a jar. Text a friend. Give yourself a point on a habit tracker. That immediate feedback tells your brain, this new behavior is worth repeating. Small loop, big results. Remember at the beginning I said strategy 3 might change everything? Here it is. Most people quit not because they failed, but because they didn't know what failed. So they decided to overhaul the whole plan. New routine, new app, new goal, fresh start. Sound familiar? The problem isn't your plan. The problem is you're not giving yourself feedback fast enough. Here's what the most consistent people do instead. They ask themselves one simple question every single day. What worked today, and what one thing do I need to change or let go of tomorrow? That's it. Not a full audit. Not a journaling session. Just a 30-second self-check. This does 2 things. First, it keeps your goal in your head every day, which means it stays real to you. Second, it lets you make tiny adjustments before small problems become big enough to make you quit. Daily feedback loops mean daily wins, and daily wins keep you in the game. Segment 4. Decide once and remove the option for 15 to 5:10. Let me hit you with something a little uncomfortable. Every morning you wake up and ask yourself, do I feel like doing this today? You've already lost. Willpower is not a reliable fuel source. It fluctuates with your sleep, your stress, your blood sugar, your mood. Relying on it every single day is like building a house on sand. The people who stay consistent, they decided. Once they said, I work out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, period. Not when I feel like it. Not if I have energy. Just that's what I do. When consistency becomes a default, it stops being a battle. You're not negotiating with yourself. Every morning, the decision is already made. The option to skip has been removed from the menu. Think about it this way. You don't decide every morning whether to brush your teeth. You just do it. Consistency works the same way when you commit to treating your goals like non-negotiables. Decide once, show up anyway. Repeat, track behaviors, not outcomes. This last one is the one I wish someone had told me sooner. Here's why most people quit right before things get good. They set a goal, lose 20 pounds, make an extra $1,000 a month, grow their audience, and they track the outcome. Every day they check the scale. Every day they look at their bank account. Every day they check the follow account. In 4 weeks, barely anything moves. And their brain says, this isn't working. What's the point? So they stop. But here's the thing. Outcomes are lagging indicators. They show up late. They don't reflect today's work. They reflect weeks and months of accumulated effort. What you should be tracking instead are your daily behaviors, the things you control. Did you hit your protein goal today? Win. Did you send 5 outreach messages today? Win. Did you do your baseline workout today? Win. If you did those things, today was a successful day. Even if the outcome hasn't caught up yet, this reframe is everything. It keeps you motivated, it keeps you moving, and it keeps you from quitting right before the breakthrough. So, let's bring it all together. Consistency isn't about being the most motivated person in the room. It's about building systems at work even when you're not. Make your habits survive bad days. Replace what you remove. Get feedback every day. Decide once and stick to it. And track what you do, not just what you're waiting for. 5 strategies, 1 outcome. You showing up quietly, steadily, powerfully, day after day. And here's the thing I want to leave you with today. The world doesn't reward the most talented. It rewards the most consistent, the most dangerously, quietly, stubbornly, consistent. That can be you now. I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 strategies hit the hardest for you? Drop it in the comments. Seriously, I read every single one, and your answer might shape the next video I make. And if this gave you even one useful thing today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. You never know whose week you might change. If you're not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Hit that button, turn on the bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself. See you soon.